Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Speed Force Racing. My name is JB, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings. But before we do anything else, we're going to have a look at the championship standings here in the Premier Division. If I can remember where I put them, they're over here. The leader right now, after finishing in second place last week, is Nick in the Racing Point, ahead of P. Walters, who was our first race winner this season. James Braden is in P3. Medium Pilot, last week's race winner, is in P4. Mike TNR is in P5, Glock is in P6, Samu is in P7, Honey Badger is in P8 after did not starting last week, Perez is in P9, and Owen All is in P10. Raikkonen is in P11, Mike Bundy is in P12, Tuzmus is in P13, Primero is in P14, Chain Game Wow is in P15, Thomas, who has now been replaced by Sem, the Dutch driver, is in P16. Spyrus is in P17. Gasly is in P18. Fotio is in P19. And Petter Solheim is in P20. Let's have a look at the championship, Constructors' Championship. It was a choke on the air. Racing Point lead the way ahead of Williams in P2. Haas is in P3. McLaren is in P4. Alfa Romeo looking high in P5 ahead of Red Bull in P6. Renault is in P7. Mercedes is in P8, Toro Rosso struggling down in P9, and Ferrari still yet to get off the mark in P10. But I'm not on my own, because tonight I have brought over a very special friend. The first time I've ever commentated with one of our many Super Swedes on the SFR grid. Festa, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for the very nice intro there.
I do like calling you guys the Super Swedes, because it's a nice nod to Ronnie Peterson.
Yeah, we all remember him every day. No, maybe not every day, but quite often.
Whenever there's a Lotus driving past, ooh!
Yeah, exactly like that, actually.
That Lotus was nice.
That was a very nice car.
It was. I've never got up close and personal with it, actually. It's one of the few racing cars I don't think I've ever seen on track.
I think, actually, there's a pylon outside of the old F1 track they used to race at here in Sweden. There's one of the cars. It's not the Lotus 78. I think it's the Lotus 73, maybe.
Yeah, probably is. That was a nice car. Lotus made some genuinely nice cars in Formula 1. And obviously, we bring up Lotus to remember Ronnie Peterson, who died in the Lotus 79 that eventually took Mario Andretti to the championship in 1970-something. I think it was 1977, I want to say.
78.
78?
Yes. Same year as Ronnie was killed.
Yes, of course. You would know that. So, we're here in the Premier Division. Last week we were at Bahrain. This week we're here in China. Now, me and Festa, we have a unique approach because me and Festa had both actually raced this week at China. How was your race on Tuesday?
It was a mess, to be honest. I spun in the beginning, and then safety cars, and then I hit someone in the back and the restart, and I had to pit again, and
Safety cars exist in the game, though!
Yeah,
they're actually here!
I was as surprised as everyone else, probably.
Yeah,
in the end, I managed to actually... Yeah, in the end I managed to finish P7, so that was good. How was your race yesterday?
My race was pretty okay. I was knocking on the door of the top 5 for a bit, and then I span the carousel section and didn't do any damage to the car. Managed to get it back started. Didn't lose too much time. Ended up finishing 8th, I want to say. Maybe 9th? One of the two. 8th or 9th. I think it was 9th because on the line, Sophie beat me because she dive bombed me at the hairpin. She had so much more speed than me. I knew she was going to. So I tried to fight back. I did as much as I could, and we finished 0.055 away from one another.
Yeah, something like that. Something
mentally close. But the drivers have been told to head over the track, so we head over to qualifying. Now, me and Festa were discussing before the oops, as I turn, ow, tattoo against bed, ow, tattoo against floor, ow. Sorry, I got another tattoo again, guys, so I just banged it all over the place. No, me and Festa were discussing the fact that we haven't had any rain this week in Speed Force, which is very uncharacteristic for Speed Force, because normally we're soaked in the stuff. So, we're somewhat hoping for a bit of rain to give us some action here, aren't we, Festa?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for rain yesterday, so I'm really hoping for rain today.
See, I was hoping for a dry race yesterday. I still had no pace.
That's luck in life, I guess.
Yeah, that's basically my life, isn't it? But nonetheless, this is a competitive grid this year. I don't know how much you've watched of the Premier Division, but in the 2 races we've had some great racing.
Yeah, I managed to catch a bit of the race from Bahrain, and yeah, I must say they're really, really competitive.
I think the whole of Speedforce right now is incredibly competitive. But if you're not on the pace at that one race, it could be detrimental. It really could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as we head over to qualifying, it's dry right now. That's a little bit dark, isn't it?
Let's hope.
I don't know, actually. No, yeah, it is dry, but it's dry right now. So if we see a flood of cars coming out, favourite commentator in the house. No, it's no favourite commentators in SFR. 16 drivers here tonight. That's the wrong one. You could tell I've had some drugs today to make myself feel a little bit better. We also have a rookie driver coming in here tonight, joining in the third round of the season. King David has joined us, the Scotsman, I want to say, has joined us for the Alfa Romeo team. I raced against him, and we have the Formula E glitch, so we've got Formula E cars on the field today.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, no sound for the stream, unfortunately. Hopefully it comes back before the race, as we see Ollie now coming out on track. And we have King David right behind him, the rookie driver in the Alfa Romeo. No, it's not, what's his name, Giovinazzi. It is our rookie driver, number 22. That is King David. He's looking, well, I've raced against him. Well, on the same track as him. He's a little bit quicker than me. But it'll be interesting to see how he does compare against these guys as we sit here in the very silent commentary booth as the number 30 car comes round. Still, what are you
trying to see where they are on track here?
Just coming into the third sector, or just a few feet away from the third sector. The Toro Rosso looking incredibly quick this weekend. This week of SFR. But to be honest, they never really are slow. They have been pretty quick the entirety of SFR's career that it's been racing.
Yeah, they have.
According to Ryan, who is Glock in the Williams, he said cloudy and cloudy. So no rain on the forecast, which is unfortunate, but could be interesting. As we're looking at Ollie on the track, the man with the gold and silver helmet. Sector 3, we have yellow flags, and people start to slow down as they start their laps. What are we expecting from these guys to be quicker than GP2? Well, they should be. If they're slower than me, they should be. Oh, actually, Ollie's entering pit lane. So is he not happy with the car? So as David decimates the bollard early, he heads on to track now. David will be the first person to set a lap time in the Premier Division this week, and provided he doesn't bin it or invalidate it. But the rookie driver has got all the eyes in the world of him and a very nice helmet to almost match the car. I actually quite like that. I like that a lot, actually. Might be my new favourite helmet in Premier.
Yeah, that looks really good, actually.
Suits the car nicely. Better than anything I could have done, because I would have gone for my bog standard design. But, you know, bright pink doesn't really work with that car.
It doesn't. I'm just following Sem here, the newcomer for today here, to see how he does.
Yeah, I believe he raced last week in Bahrain, but that was his first time out, and I think he was a reserve there. I believe he's replaced Thomas in the Ferrari. If I've got anyone from the admin team and the driver's notices, just to pop up and tell me if that is true or not in the chat, that'd be very helpful. But right now we do have no sound from the game. We can only apologise. Codemasters just don't like me. So heading down the straight now is David. He's still in overtake mode in his Alfa Romeo as we sit on this ridiculous camera angle where all we see is Halo. Now heading into the braking zone, catching the braking zone nicely as you see the Eros flap just closing nicely. And the car absolutely tiptoeing around. He's on the hard compound of tyres, which I just realised I haven't actually put on. Do apologise. and he's coming through. Well, we've seen the tyre strategy from the other 3 races of SFR, but David starts us off with a 133.7, the Ferrari of Sem, a 133.7, and Gasly a 131.8 on the soft tyres. So Gasly showing off in his Mercedes tonight.
Yeah, that's a decent time, I would say.
Look at Glock; he's gone up to 4th behind the Mercedes. So Nolan Lopez, who is, I believe, he's a new driver as well. So Lopez, we have a Formula E driver in here. I'm happy.
I see medium pilot has actually put a 32.0 on the hard tires, which is really good.
Mike Bundy in the Renault, driving with a distinctly more Renault-esque helmet now, rather than his god-awful Daniel Ricciardo helmet. Heading up towards the line now. He's got to come negotiate one more corner on these hard compound tyres, but he's not going to be quickest. I wonder if he's had a bit of an accident this lap. Coming through towards the line, he's going to be a 136, 137.0. That puts him almost bottom of the grid. But Nick, last week's second place man, goes even faster in the Racing Point. But he's starting on the soft.
So it's actually interesting to see that, on the softs, that's... I mean, I tried that on Tuesday, and it did not work at all.
And I went for the medium tyres. I was outside the top 10, I should have gone for the hard tyres. But I went for the medium tyres, and that strategy did work right the way to the end. This is going to be really interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting line from Nick.
How interesting are you talking?
He cut turn 4 on the on the right there. You can take the corner much tighter on a different path of track. He wasn't on a fast lap, but still, anyway.
You still shouldn't do it. I'm going to keep an eye on him now, because there is a rule saying you can't do that. There will be a qualifying ban handed to him, and he has been here long enough to know that. But I won't dictate anything that the stewards will give, because that will be done when the stewards decide. On the first side, we have Ollie. Ooh. I think my brain's being tricked into thinking there's game sound when there isn't. But Ollie now heading down towards the DRS zone. He bailed out his first lap. What can the Toro Rosso driver do as he heads into the braking zone here? It's very distracting to have cars on that straight when you're trying to match that braking zone. I don't know if you found that, Fester, but I really did.
Yeah, it can put you off really, really badly, actually.
Yeah, I missed my braking point. And I was about 3 meters away from the cars anyway. But Ollie ends up going up to P13, derating his engine as he got to the end of the straight. Very interesting.
Yeah, so that's really early to derate, actually, at the hairpin.
Ooh, Honey Badger again with another lovely helmet to match the car. Lots of people going for the for one of the premium, not the premium design. Yeah, it's probably a premium design. Yeah, one of the drivers going for one of the premium design this year of helmets. But still, even
I must say, I think it's quite a nice addition to the game.
Oh yeah, I've got them all. I've got all the helmets. Of course I have.
Of course.
Apparently people are saying Bundy for the top 3. Mike has got pace in him. Obviously all the drivers, barring the top 4, have gone out on, I think actually Medium Pilot has done it on the hards. So all the drivers, barring the top 3, have gone out on the hard tyres. So it's going to be interesting to see how many of these drivers choose to go on possibly the medium tyres as well, as Glock goes for another lap right now.
Yeah, I think medium tyres is a good starting tyre if you're starting in the top 10.
Yeah, most definitely. You always want to make sure that you can you have the pace at the start of the race. But it's a long race. It's 28 laps. It's a long old race.
It is.
So Ollie has in fact bailed out of his lap time, I believe. Gasly's on an out lap, so we'll see what the Greek driver can get up to the number 6 car. Softs is a brave choice, says Race Director Lee. Yeah. I wonder if he's scrubbing the tyres. No, he's doing a lap with them. It's a brave choice. Maybe they're trying to go for 2 stops to make it an interesting race. I don't know. But the 1-stopping race is like, let's have a look at Sem. He's on a lap time. He's currently on an in lap by the looks of it. But it's interesting. I wouldn't go for one of these for the Red Wall tyres, would you?
Regarding experiences from Tuesday, no. I wouldn't.
No.
They die after like 5 laps.
Yeah, and we saw that on Tuesday when I believe it was Luke Beck pitted and went for the soft tyres underneath the safety car, and then by the end of the race he had nothing left. He was basically driving on the rims of the tyres.
Yeah.
Rims are the wheels. Tyres don't have rims. Unless they're secretly hiding something from us. The number 15 of Honey Badger is on track. 5 tenths up on his time right now as he comes through the carousel section. Renault are looking strong. We've had a few little niggles at the start of the season, but Renault have problems at the start of the season.
Yeah, that's pretty standard from Renault, I guess. It's been like that since 2014.
Oh god, don't get me started. That was back when they were Lotus. I still prefer the all yellow colour that they brought out in 2016. I preferred that to the black.
I preferred the testing livery they had in 2016.
Yeah, that was nice. But it looked as Honey Badger does improve to P5. It was nice, but again, there's too many black cars in Formula One history. That's my argument.
I would agree. Yeah, I still like black though. I think it's cool.
Emo. Moves having a bit of a sideways action there. As Ollie actually improves the P12, beating out the fast-starting new driver that is King David.
We have Lopez on the soft tires, about to start a lap as well.
Whoa, big moment for Moose there as he has an oversteer moment into the hairpin, the exit of the carousel, and it sends him way out wide. I believe he'll be pitting at the end of his lap, but he's very, very well not to do what Scented Crumpets did, reserving last night and bailed into the wall.
Yeah, these things happen. It's a really tricky corner. I said that yesterday on a commentary as well. It's so easy to lose the back end.
You never want to have an accident at China because then you just get labelled Giovinazzi. But the McLaren boys are going to get close together if they're not careful. Moose does pit and Volta's carrying on. The man who won the first race of the season may have just invalidated his lap time as he crosses the line. He goes P5. Wow, there's definite pace in these guys, isn't there?
Yeah, it really is. I'm just following along with Lopez here. He's 6 tenths up to the first sector on the soft tire now.
Well, I'm looking at David. He's 1.2 seconds up on the soft tyres in the Alfa Romeo as he comes into the hairpin, turning in nicely and heading up towards that final corner, which is less of a corner, more of a flick to the left now. So you shift down, flick to the left, cut the corner, and there you are. DRS opening as he runs out of energy, crossing the line. It's P1! Wow! Almost a 131 dead. Where's Lopez? What car's he in? Mercedes.
I think he's backed off, actually. He's not opening DRS.
Maybe he invalidated his lap time.
He might have done,
a lock up there. Look at that. 002. A 131.002 for King David. And then right now, it is now an Alfa Romeo 1 and 2 from King David to Fotio. Fotio's 2 seconds off the pace right now. So the number 9 car is being beaten by his number 22 teammate.
I would have loved to see a number 9 on the Alfa Romeo this year as well.
Marcus Ericsson. He's doing well in IndyCar though. He's doing well in IndyCar.
Yeah, he is. He's having a pretty decent season, I would say.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more Swedish. Well, I guess Fredrik Rosenqvist was in Formula E for a bit.
Yeah, he was. He's doing even better in IndyCar, actually. So he's actually top 10 in the championship, which is very good for a rookie season. I
haven't caught up with IndyCar. I haven't watched really since the 500 because I got very angry, almost threw Sugar at the TV when I saw that Rossi got knackered over his pit stop. That's the word I'll use.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something with the fuel rig, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I think it was an Andretti problem rather than him. So, as we're looking at Sem, that first corner just goes on forever, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It's funny, though, because that's not even the longest corner in Formula 1, because I can tell you the longest corner in Formula 1. Turn 3 at
Which
Russia.
Which one is that?
Turn 3 at Russia.
That is a long corner, yeah.
That is, but the speed you're going at it doesn't feel that long. But that is the longest corner in Formula 1. Does it actually count
as a corner? It's just full throttle.
I think it's full throttle, but the fact that I think a corner is determined by the amount of steering angle you're putting.
Yeah,
so that's how they managed to find an extra corner at Austria.
Yeah, that's very strange. I mean, in I think in engineering terms, it's full throttle. It's not a corner.
No, it's more of a kink, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, turn 2 at Austria is very much a kink.
Oh, that's not even a kink. It's a straight that has a little bit of a bend in it.
Yeah.
It's a straight that slightly got bored halfway through. It found a tree and started leaning on it for a bit. We'll get to Austria later on in the season. If you're looking at the 21 car, that's Sem. He could be number 12, but he decided to be number 21 instead. Heading towards to finish his lap right now. No, he's not evading to pit lane. Is the Ferrari?
We have Mike Bundy coming down the straight. He is 1.2 seconds up through the second sector.
His teammates out on the medium tyres. So one Renault going for the softs, one Renault going for the mediums. Does he continue on this lap? He does not. He's bailing for the mediums then. Whoa, he almost took his wheel off there though. Turned in too early. I mean...
That's also an easy mistake to do.
Not to beat a dead horse, but he did do that in Austin a few seasons ago.
I remember that. I was in that race, actually. I remember that.
I'm not to beat a dead horse, but I bring it up every season.
Should see if it's a commentator's curse kind of thing.
Yes, you got a fan of you in the chat, actually. 1991 Techno. His message for you was, Festa!
Hello, I have no idea who it is, but seems like a nice guy.
But it's a cool name. As we look at Honey Badger.
It's a really cool name. Did Lopez out on the medium tires?
Whoa, well? Honey Badger's round! Locked in all 4 tyres, he spins round, almost a massive accident for the Ferrari. I think that was, it must have been, it was Chenge Wow, sorry, the Dutch driver, but the Flying Dutchman in the Renault has got to wait for a gap in the traffic. He just lost the rear end and now he's up on the curb, and that's that lap ruined, and I think that might even be his qualifying over.
Yeah, I think he's
such a slow accident here as well.
Yeah.
Just coming through turn 3, you saw the rear end step out, saw him go to correct it, and just lost it again. But nonetheless,
Lee
no
has
shame
put in the
him.
comments that much to my delight that I think Mike Bundy hit the wall in Austin.
Yeah, it was back when Lee actually won I think that was his second win of the season in Austin. Billy O'Connor saying hi, Fefster, and Greek Formula One saying, I can't say that last name, but hello.
Hello, guys.
I do apologise. Honey Badger has in fact bailed out of his lap time. Looking at Gasly right now, who's in P4, looking for pole position for the Mercedes squad as he comes up and through. Philippe saying Fefster.
Mania goes P1.
Nick going even faster. He's a very quick driver. We know about the 75 car, but that is his qualifying over. He's used everything in the tank. But right now, the Alfa Romeo is going to have something to say about it soon. But first, we got to look at Gasly, the number 6 Mercedes. It's not Nico Rosberg, it is R. Gasly. You have to say R. Gasly.
Time to see if he can
but he's derating. He's got no electrical power. That's cut. That corner's gone. I think it's enough to lose the lap time. It is. It's slower. Where's Lopez? Lopez right now coming through the final corner. What can the sister Mercedes do? Can it do what the teammate couldn't? I think he's just invalidated there. Derating towards the line. And he goes P4, beating out his teammate.
That's a good lap. Very good.
Mike Bundy is in the first sector on the soft tyres. We'll keep an eye on him. Raikkonen out of the lap himself in the Red Bull. Coming through here on the medium tyres.
Raikkonen hasn't actually set a time yet.
Yeah, Raikkonen showing how awful the Red Bull's numbers are, because I can't tell which one he is. Number 24. Qualifying is now over. Every driver is on the track, and Lopez has retired. He doesn't think he can go any faster. Looking at King David now, the rookie. Can he score a pole position at the first race? Best commentators online. Ah, thanks. Chenge Well can't do anything. It's P8. Sven. I like Sven. Sven's a good boy. He beat me yesterday. No, Fotio can't do it. He's just quicker. But where's the Alfa Romeo David? He's down on his time currently in Sector 3. Heading into the braking zone. Can he make anything up as Gasly retires? He's P5 right now. Medium pilot is P6. Where is David going to be as you see James Braden comes through the final corner? Where's he going to go as well? Oh, big overstay moment for David. David about to cross the line. It's P2. It's still Nick on pole. Where's Mike Bundy? Mike Bundy is 5th. It's Nick on pole position here in the Premier Division. Unless the medium runners can beat anything.
Last corner.
It's P8 for the Renault.
P8.
After a spin as well. Well done to him. Where's Glock? It's P7. So it is the racing point of Nicomania in P1 ahead of the fast starting new guy, King David in P2 and Fotio for second Alfa Romeo, hungry for more in P3. And we have sound once more. Ooh, I'm excited.
Oh, congrats.
I do enjoy that when it just clicks in, you just hear the engine sound from the AI. That's why I always try and go on board with an AI at the end. So,
very satisfying.
By 0.2 of a second, Nicomania is in P1 ahead of David in P2. Fotio is in P3. Lopez, the Spanish driver, is in P4. Bundy is in P5. P. Walters is in P6. Glock is in P7. Gasly is in P8. Honey Badger in P9. James Braden finishing out the top 10 in P10. Outside of the top 10, a free tyre choice. Medium pilot is in P11. Raikkonen is in P12. Stem is in P13. Ollie is in P14. Chen Guanyu is in P15. Choose Moose bring up the rear of the field in P16.
Good to see there's some different tyre strategies in the top 10.
Most
Should
definitely.
Make for an interesting race.
We saw the soft tyres on, I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, just degraded within 2 or 3 laps under racing speed.
Yeah, they do. So we'll see how they fare on the soft tyre here.
Someone saying they want to hear someone say, "Is that Glock this season?" I actually said it last season. I was battling with him in the Classic Championship we did last season, and he lost it and crashed in Silverstone on the entry Chapel on the entry to the Hangar Straight. And I remember saying, "Is that Glock ahead of me?" We were driving the James Hunt's McLaren. I remember, "Is that Glock?" And he just Glock retires the session. It is. I think that's the moment I won the championship. Actually, that's one of the moments I won the championship.
Yeah, that's.
I think that is
good.
I won it in Gilles Villeneuve's Ferrari at Abu Dhabi. Even after I had a spin, literally at the final corner, and I thought I remember there was a swear word involved, and Honey Badger just collapsed in laughter because the last message he had, he really was waiting to see JB retires for the section. If I crashed, I wouldn't have won it. I've got to make sure that video's still online. That was actually quite a funny end.
That's a perfect way to round out the season, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, it was such a... I managed to slow the car down, but obviously it's a 78. It's the Ferrari with like the surfboard on the front of it, the ugliest Ferrari known to man. But I was full lock to the right, thinking, "Oh god, if I hit the wall at this angle, I'm knackered." And I was expecting to see the tyres just go poof, and they just didn't. That's why I was signed for Ferrari this season. King JB. I'm not a king. I'm in no way a king. But who should we look out for at the start of this race? Because right now, Gasly and Mike Bundy, they're not in the top 3, but they are on the same tyres as the top 3. Do you think they can do something to get past these guys, or are they just going to go hell for leather?
I think they really need to get past here, because I said that yesterday as well. They really need to pull a gap from the soft tire while they're still good.
Yeah,
otherwise they'll have a tough time.
I can be Queen JB if you want me to be. Lee, get me a skirt. Still not the weirdest thing I've said on commentary. Still not the weirdest thing I've ever said on commentary. But right now, you see all the drivers come through. Is it in
the top
10? Who's that? Is it in the top 10? I think about 6th. Yeah, it's pretty there. Actually, that's pretty standard from me. What am I talking about? What can we expect from the rookie driver, though, of King David? His first outing in SFR. What are we expecting? He's well, when I raced against him, we were in realistic cars, and he was still beating me, and I was in a Renault, and he was in a McLaren of last season, so of last year's cars. So the Renault was arguably better than the McLaren last season. So this will be interesting to see his first outing, for me at least, in equal cars. Who are you going to be watching up for start, Fester?
I'll be hovering around P10, I think. Honey Badger.
Get a good angle there.
Yeah.
So, as we head towards 5 red lights, we can see who's going to win this race. Sometimes we can sit there and go, I'll discount the entire soft runners, but I just won't, because anything can happen, and Tuesday showed it could happen in Formula 1. So, as the lights go on, we go to 5 red lights. Eventually, when the lights catch up, there they are. The 5 red lights are on. They're out. Other drivers are away now. It's a good start from P1, but a better start from David in P2. Williams charging in the field. David is already in the lead, though. David on the run up to turn 1 is in the lead. Nick trying to cover him up is opening himself up to attack from the other Alfa Romeo in P3. And more Torment medium pilot down to P13. Changing wow. And there's a spinner in the field. It's Gasly. It's Gasly has had a semi-accident and it says dropped him down. Lopez up to P3. Brilliant start from the Spaniard as he tries to attack against Fotio. Fotio running him out slightly wide, but he is still okay to be there. Drivers all charging through. What are you looking at, Fester?
Mike Bundy has lost out a little bit here at the start. He's lost 2 positions, so he needs to claw them back quickly.
Moose in the McLaren under attack from Gasly and trying to attack Chingen. Wow, at the same time the Hungarian is so close to the Dutchman's rear end. As they all come towards the end, again, Lopez trying to get his way through and he just can't do it. Some drivers dummying dive bombs earlier on in the race. Wow, these guys are so controlled off the start.
Yeah, very clean first lap, except for the first corner where Gasly had a bit of a spin.
King David leads as they head onto the straight. A little bit of weaving from the whole pack as they all try and follow him. Nick Mania on the attack already as he's looking to the outside of the hairpin. It's not going to happen, but it is going to try. And it looked to be contact in the background between Lopez and Fotio. But Lickamania for the final corner is back in the lead. The bollard has been decimated. David's back on top as well as they go side by side towards turn 1. Lopez into pit lane. He must have had damage on the Alfa Romeo. And again, they go side by side through turn 1. Who's got the better line? Is it the Racing Point? Is it the Alfa Romeo? My cat's getting very sad while I'm shouting. But it is getting back going to be the Alfa Romeo. No, it's going to be Racing Point. I can't make a difference. Who's going to come through the corner first? It's Nick. The Greek driver back in P1.
They're still side by side.
These guys just will not give up. And a rookie driver versus a driver who's raced in SFR for 3 seasons now is still doing his best job. The battle on. It shows how competitive this grid is.
Brilliant racing from the 2 of them there.
And it has opened it up because the other Alfa Romeo is coming too. Right now my grid is a little bit messed up. So I don't know how close everyone is. The Renault's close together now. Do you think Honey Badger will get the call saying, get out of the way of your teammate? He's on faster tyres.
Honey Badger has actually passed Mac. No, he hasn't, actually. Never mind, sorry. Wrong of me.
Alright, but there, P. Walters on traction, trying to get past Fotio. But Sem's had an accident. Sem is somewhere. He's had a slight moment and he has lost out. Gasly is driving aggressively to try and make up for the time he's lost by having to pit. He's already up to P11. Sorry, no, Gasly after spinning. But here you see Moose on the run, passing the Red Bull of Raikkonen, who has damage. That's still weird to say. As Moose looking to the outside. Oh, an aggressive move. He's actually cut off Raikkonen. Raikkonen having to alter his line. And my cat's now standing on me because she wants to get to see what's happening. But Nick Mania is the leader as we all go through 7 into pit lane. Medium pilot has to make a move soon if he wants to repeat what he did last week. All of the passes we've seen today, right now, have been done without DRS. And now we hit lap 3 when the DRS is enabled. This can only get more fun.
Yeah, it's going to kick off really excitingly here now, I think. P. Walters is close to King David here.
Walters is absolutely flying on those medium compactor tyres. Sector 2, we have a yellow flag. It seems to be It's Tuzmu, sorry, not Lopez. Tuzmu is span at turn 3, very much how the Renault did in qualifying. Now on board with P. Walters. What's happening up here?
Could it be that the soft tires are already going off?
I did think that, because look at how quick Lopez is. But maybe
so much more pace.
no, not Lopez, do apologise. Volters, maybe gotta get out of my head. Maybe Volters is just a quicker driver right now. Maybe he's got the better setup. As you hear my Android brain give up halfway through that sentence.
I think he's gonna have him here.
Oh, he's gonna have him before the DRS. So the rookie driver is going to drop down to P3, but still a commendable drive so far from him. It's only round 3, but there you see James Brayton on the attack. He's going to try and make a move on Mike Bundy. Bit of lag in the lobby. As the number 15 Haas tries to go up and past him. Meanwhile, the number 15 Renault
appears.
Yeah, the number 15 Renault is looking to play as well. I tell you what, even the early stoppers, I still wouldn't count them out for a win today, because this grid is so competitive. They'll be back on the grid, back on the end of this train by, I think, the end of the next lap, and then drive like that. Honey Badger to the inside as he tries to go around the outside of Fotio. These guys giving me plenty enough to shout about. I do have to commentate later, guys. Be careful.
Have to save your voice. Can Honey Badger go around the outside through turn 4?
Lopez, the fastest man on track in P14, and then Fotio. I think the soft tyre is definitely fading, and now you've got to think which Alfa Romeo is going to have priority. Is it going to be Fotio who's in a pack, or is it going to be David who's up right now trying to battle for P3, but Glock is right behind him?
Yeah, Glock is hounding him down here. So much quicker.
Look at the traction out of there. You saw David just lean a bit as the car hit the curb. Glock, nothing. Glock will have him again, as P. Volters did.
Closing in on Nick Mania.
I think this is going to definitely be a race between someone. I think it might even be Williams McLaren at this rate, as there you see the aggressive moves. But is there going to be a move for the lead? DRS open on the McLaren as he goes towards the hairpin. He's got to pick his line, pick his move quickly. He is ahead now into the braking zone. Who's faster though? Is it Nick or is it Volters? Volters is through, but not cleanly. There is a little bit of a scrap there, but there's more carbon fibre flying. And it looked to be from King David's wing. No, it's Mike Bundy. Mike Bundy has dropped down so many positions. Mike Bundy carries on though.
His front wing looks whole, but you never know.
Mike Bundy is currently on screen as they see Ollie right behind him. I think Bundy and Fotio have made mistakes here, but they couldn't have done anything. Their teammates were pitting, so it must have been Honey Badger's wing then.
Must have been, yeah.
I think Honey Badger wasn't planning on pitting, so lost his wing, and then Bundy, who was planning on pitting, saw him bailing into pit lane and was able to get out of it quickly enough. And I mean, that's very lucky for the Renault driver, isn't it?
Yeah, good call from his side to not try to follow him in.
It would have destroyed both their races, wouldn't it?
It does look like Bundy has a bit more pace than Fotio, though.
I think Bundy's been lucky enough to be able to follow people through. This is Fotio, who's been defending very heavily this race. So I'm going to lean back and stroke my cat. Thank you for liking me, cat. Not as bad as Kitty, though. Kitty used to sit on commentary and she used to poke me in the back. But now we're going to go 3 wide on the straight. I think Mike Bundy, who's trying to overtake Fotio. What can Michael Bundy get up to? And you see Ollie actually pulling to the outside. So Mike is going to be sure that there is a Toro Rosso there, wide. not to make contact. And there you see Medium Pilot trying to join in the fight as well. Ollie has overshot the corner, trying to get behind, not realising about the extra speed he was going to get from the toe from the Renault. The Renault makes a move, and Medium Pilot thinking, I'll have that. And there you see Mike Bundy and Fotio pitting, and that's good for Bundy to pit while his rival is behind him. There's contact though, as he gets pushed over the line by Fotio, and Mike Bundy has been awarded a 5-second stop-and-go penalty, and that was not fair. I don't think there was anything malice though. It wasn't intentional from Fotio. I just think that he didn't brake at the same point as Mike Bundy. So Mike Bundy, who was obviously slowing down for the pit lane limiter, just got rear-ended. You saw the car judder forwards, and yeah, that's going to really suck for Mike, isn't it? Especially
Mike Bundy he's on the medium tires, actually.
He's on a two-stop strategy, isn't he?
He's doing a two-stop, yeah.
And that's just knackered his race with that penalty as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And he's going to be absolutely swearing in that Renault helmet.
King David also on the medium tires after his first stop.
Lee's saying that will get removed, so we can knock 5 seconds off his time and see where he ends up at the end of the race. As now you see Raikkonen on the brakes. Whoops, that's the wrong way. Raikkonen on the brakes trying to get past Gasly. Well, we might see this fight actually in real Formula 1 now, might we?
Yeah, might be.
God, that coffee's nice. I bought a new mug.
Gasly.
Yeah. Did you hear what Helmut Marko said about him earlier?
No, I must have missed that. What did he say?
Gasly was dropped because he doesn't like to overtake.
Oof.
You kept Sebastian Vettel for God knows how long, and he can't overtake.
He's proven that in the last years.
DRS open on Mike Bundy's car, fresh medium tyres, and with a hounding anger in the car from the accident that happened in pit lane. I mean, the only solace it could be for the Renault driver is if Fotio got any wing damage from that accident, but it didn't look like there'd be any wing damage.
Let's have a look.
Would that make it better if someone hit you and gave you a penalty which wasn't fair, and then you saw that person with wing damage? Would that make you feel a little bit better as a driver?
It would, yeah.
I'm going to sit there and just go... But now, Gasly is fighting Fotio, who is in turn having to fight Raikkonen. So Raikkonen and Gasly following Fotio. Alfa Romeo's day going a little bit badly as the clouds now cover over. Lee is saying he has got wing damage. I didn't see any damage, but then again, Alfa Romeo's wing being black is a real big pain in my rear end as I can't see it properly.
Yeah, definitely.
On board
so
with Gasly.
Gotten a bit stretched out at the top here.
Yeah, well, right now we're in for the first round of pit stops for a couple of drivers, plus the hard runners. So on board with Gasly with this, again, another stupid camera angle from the Mercedes team. See now,
behind the halo.
No, I hate that thing.
That's terrible.
The thing is, I like the Ford Escort Cosworth because they had a halo as a rear wing, and that looked great.
Much better in that direction, to be fair.
No, of course, yeah. But I want to hear. Here's the question I ask, and I ask many of my co-commentators this. Now, yay or nay on the new Mercedes design? Because I really like it, the new livery design.
I think it looks really good, and I don't even like Mercedes.
No, I don't like Merco much anymore. As King David to the inside of turn 1 on his old rival Nicomania. These two battle for pole position. Now on different strategies in the race. We'll see David in pit lane one more time in this race, unless there's damage. And I don't think we'll see Nicomania in pits once more at all. Racing Point have had very quick cars this week in SFR, but they haven't been able to convert it. Maybe today is the day that the sole Racing Point in the Premier Division can make it up to the high points again.
Let's hope for it.
I think all the cars this year in Formula 1 looked really good. The Renault, it's Renault. They don't normally change much. They didn't even change the aero from last year either. The Red Bull's okay. As they go side by side, actually. Red Bull of Raikkonen back in front now of Fotio as he aggressively passed the Alfa Romeo and passed the Mercedes at the same time.
Great move from him there.
And Mike Bundy now is going to try and overtake Lopez, who's been on those tyres for 6 laps. We are 8 laps into a 28-lap race here in China. Mike Bundy's got to make up for lost time, especially counteracting that 5-second stop-and-go penalty. He will be held in the pit lane for a further 5 seconds before they change his tyres. This will get very difficult for the British driver in the Renault car. To the inside, to the outside, Lopez again aggressively defending, but he's made a mistake.
He outbrakes himself.
And he's going to be ruining that, the 28 car.
Medium pilot is close to James Braden for P3.
Thank you. We'll have a look. Last week's race winner and last week's third place man. Having a look at one another now. I like medium pilot's helmet because it reminds me of Kubica's a little bit, the colours wise.
Yeah, it does.
So in my head, I look at it and it's like, it's Robert Kubica, but it's not. It's medium pilot. It's a far quicker driver.
Would have been much slower, I guess, if it was Kubica driving.
Such a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. He was one of the best back in.
Yeah, I don't see.
10.
I can't foresee him being in Williams next year, or in Formula 1 next year, in fairness. I can't even foresee him in Formula E, you know? That's a push, isn't it? I like Formula E a lot, but I can't foresee him being in Formula E.
No.
Because he just can't, he won't be able to get his arm in the steering lock. Medium pilot to the inside, thinking about a dive bomb, but doesn't go for a dive bomb in the Rocket Williams. Do you know what Rocket is? Just curiously.
It's a phone company.
Yeah. To be fair, I quite like the look of their phones. I might end up going for one. Because they use Android, and I like Android. That's the thing.
I've never seen one of their phones.
I think it's a very Polish one. I think it's a Polish brand.
Oh, I thought it was British. Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, it might be British actually, because they do sponsor Nick Hamilton as well in touring car.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because that's where I saw it.
Yeah.
Other than on the Williams.
I'd love to see it on a Formula E car. I think Rocket's just it looks a cool name as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So that is medium pilot of the P3. The Williams both in the top three now. Yeah, on the podium. On board with Lopez, trying to make up for lost time. The man with the silver and the purple helmet, with black flakes trying to hunt down the number 95 of the Renault team. I had to say the team afterwards because people run different numbers. So we have two number 15s in this, as James Braden and Honey Badger are both running number 15. So I say the number, then the team afterwards, so I know which one I'm talking about.
I think it's very impressive that you keep track of the numbers that they have.
I remember some of them. I remember some people that run number 13 as well, because they copied me. Because clearly I'm the only driver ever to use number 13. I even know who had number 13 in what's it called?
In Formula 1?
Yeah.
It was the Crash Donator.
Yeah, Crash Door.
Pasta Maldonado.
Rich Energy did get done, but Rich Energy is still on the Formula 1 car in real life, because they've got to honour the agreement unless they change it to Lightning Volt when they eventually do, as Honey Badger sets up a dive bomb but doesn't eventually go for it. But when they do convert it to Lightning Volt, because they've got to go through the lengthy process of changing their name and everything, it might change on the hat, it might not change on the hat, who knows?
It's a very interesting company, isn't it?
No, don't get me started. I still don't even understand it. But Lopez under pressure.
Tweet was, sorry.
No, it's all right. Give us the latest tweet. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, the latest tweet was that they love that they love Haas F1 team now.
The sarcasm in their tweets.
Yeah,
it's really so much. There's so much rubbish, honestly. Honey Badger again telegraphing his moves to Lopez, who again rookie driver is doing his best job. I've got to commentate over another Lopez later. This is going to get really confusing. But the rookie driver in SFR is looking to... He obviously knows how to drive that car well enough to notice when Honey Badger's telegraphing a move, or a potential move. I tell you what, I'm sorry, Honey Badger's helmet is starting to grip me. I really like it.
That's really nice.
I've got a thing for red and yellow recently. Sector 3, we have a yellow flag. Who is it? It's Tusmus.
Tusmus.
Big accident
again
for the McLaren. No damage on the window.
Second spin.
Yeah, well, it must be something about number 13, because that's where I span last night. And now you see Honey Badger finally on the attack. DRS
James
open.
Braden in the pits.
Same with Ollie.
King David as well. No, sorry. Ollie.
Honey Badger on the brakes, trying to get past the Mercedes, but the Mercedes on the better brakes has made it through. The Renault now side by side to the final corner. You can't really go side by side here, but they've done it. They have gone side by side. Lopez gone wide, but it's still fine. But he is through. Finally, Honey Badger's through. Lopez aggressively to behind him, and there is a car in the way. There's almost contact between James Braden and Mike Bundy. James Braden, who's actually still driving alongside him. There is a little bit of contact between the Haas and the Renault. These teams really don't like each other. The 95 is going to beat up the number 15. No on traction. I'm running out of air.
Wow.
Yeah.
A bit of lag there.
How do I do that? I swear I have a spare set of lungs somewhere in my body.
Impressive.
I quite like yellow and blue as well, because I just like the Swedish flag as well. I like Sweden. Sweden's a cool place.
Very nice.
It's on my list to eventually head over to Oslo to go and have a look there, but I'd love to go there and hang out in the snow.
Also, it's Norway, by the way.
Also, Norway, but there's the Renault! It's Honey Badger into the gravel! And he's... Oh, that's going to suck for him! Is that going to bring out the safety car? No, it's not. Is that Norway? Stockholm.
Yes.
It's Stockholm, isn't it? That's the capital of Sweden.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, sorry,
I failed geography. In the pits.
Honey Badger dropping even further down. Some of these drivers are so lucky they've not got damage tonight, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Honey Badger
has gotten lucky twice here, spinning in with not having damage.
I tell you what, I know exactly what Tom's going to be yelling, and it's going to be in Dutch, and he's not going to be pleased at all. Hold on. Tuzmus has actually crashed in pit lane. We saw him enter pit lane. He's not done a Hamilton. He's done a no one's done it since they paved that over. Luckily, when he's gonna. I think we might see him. They put gravel there though. In that time, they paved that over after Maldonado crashed.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I think we might see one of those drivers retiring. It is still early in the race though. Lap 13 out of 28 as we come up along the hill. I love this track. It's so cool. If I knew Chinese, I'd go and watch this race in real life. I really would. I
actually went in 2016, so I was living in Shanghai.
Oh, that's awesome! How was it? Actually, who won 2016? Was that Rosberg?
Yeah, Rosberg. Yeah.
It was crap and awful.
Hamilton started at the back. Ricardo took the start. He had a puncture right in front of me, and his tire blew up, and it was a very strange sound.
I had the first Grand Prix I went to, as we see the leader pit, P. Walters pitting, Honey Badger telegraphing a move as well on Tuzmus. Tuzmus struggling to battle. The Hungarian is actually going to drop down behind the Dutch driver. No, I had a red flag at the first Grand Prix I went to, and that was Britain 2014 when Raikkonen crashed into the wall, and
P. Walters has a really terrible stop. They're not ready for him.
Oh dear, the McLaren team were not ready. Is that the call that's going to end the race for him? It's going to be a very lengthy ask. He's behind David as well. That's really bad. But we know David's stopping one more time. McLaren, come on, guys.
Lost out to Glock, so he's lost the lead.
Sector 3, yellow flag. It's Tuzmus out of the race. And he's left possession. Is that going to throw a safety car out? It's far enough out. I know exactly where it was. It was where Sensi Krembers crashed last night in GP2. There is no safety car right now. This is what it was like when I was driving last night. It's like, is there a safety car? No? Okay. So the Renault Tuzmus, the McLaren Renault of Tuzmus is again struggling. As now you see P. Walters on the attack, has to get past David, has to get past Glock, and well, he'll pass. I think he'll pass Chain Game. But is this Glock stay in the Williams? Because it's looking more and more likely, isn't it?
Waters is right on the back of King David here.
The 95 McLaren. No, not the 95 Renault. It is got a Renault engine in though. It's about to pass the 22 car before the DRS even opens, and David knows that there's no way he can fight that car. He does just, you see him lift off there, visibly lift off to get into the slipstream. He tries a dummy dive bomb to sort of unsettle the McLaren, but nothing will phase the German driver ahead in the McLaren.
I think Waters will have the bit between his teeth here to catch back up to Glock.
Nicomania with a time penalty now. I believe that's the first of a few that we've seen this race. I think the worst part about doing league racing is trying to remember the, as we see Sem pull into pit lane, is trying to remember people's nationalities, especially as a commentator. I can do numbers, I can do helmets so I can see them, but nationalities are really difficult.
Yeah, it would be good to have the flags on the list here.
It'd be good to have the penalties on the list as well, but nobody ever listens to me.
Yep, that too. No, sadly not.
The amount of times, honestly, I had someone question and said, "Would you do the esports? Would you try and do the esports?" I'd love to do the esports, but I want to bring my co-commentators. I wouldn't want some of the ones they have on there. Like Matt Gallagher, yeah, he's cool and all, but you know.
Yeah. I think they have Jack Nichols commentating on that one, right?
I like him, and the best thing about him,
I like him too.
Is you know what the best thing about him was? There's two things. One, he's a fat guy from London. And two, he is an ex-motorsport marshal, which I am currently a motorsport marshal.
Yeah, you should probably meet him then at some point.
I'd love to. I'd love to meet him at a Formula E race because I want to go to the one in London that's happening next year.
Yeah.
It's a double header as well, so I might stay overnight in at my dad's, who lives about an hour on the train away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got next year planned out. But right now, the leader is Medium Pilot, 16 seconds away from Chain Game Wow. P. Volter's the fastest man on the track in P4, but Glock is in P3, who's going to start to feel that pressure soon. The King David is now under pressure from the pole sitter, the Racing Point of Nicomania. That livery still looks like a mess. It looks better since they updated it, but it still looks like a mess to me.
It does, yeah.
It's that ridiculous silver line they got in it. You don't need 4 colours on a racing car.
No, you need 1, 2 max.
Yeah, I mean 3 is manageable, but you've got to get it in the right quantity. Like how Sauber have black, or sorry, it's like a really deep navy, white, and that crimson that they have is fantastic.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Mercedes, black, turquoise, and well, I guess it's more like sea green now. Black, sea green, and silver. Again, fantastic. Haas, crap. Oh, I'm sorry, Lotus. I don't like it. I'm sorry, but it's just Lotus.
I think it's destroyed by the Rich Energy logo. To be fair,
I like the fact that on the Halo we actually have a number now. That makes me a lot happier.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The leader does pit now, so the lead will transfer over.
Here comes Braden on Nicomania down the straight.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get in this
close
time.
Enough.
75 is still in front of 15. Chain Game Wow will inherit the lead of the Grand Prix, but for how long he's under pressure is the man with the semi-McLaren-esque helmet. He pulls in.
As Water sets the fastest lap.
This can be interesting, because remember, Walters hasn't won a race. As Lopez actually gets a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for speeding in pit lane, that's going to put him right in the fight with Mike Bundy. He goes onto the medium tyres, and the Mercedes team, they drop him a little bit late, and off he goes back into the fast lane. Yeah, I was meant to marshal pit lane for the World Endurance Championship last year, but I didn't have my suit, so I couldn't.
Glock is close to Shane Game.
The Dutch driver
Shane Game on 16 lap old hard tires here.
The fan favourite is Glock, purely for his name.
I'm not surprised at all by that.
See, now, Lee doesn't like him because Lee really likes Massa. No, we love Ryan, but we still call him Glock as he gets close to the back. He had to lift off there because he took that corner a little bit too tight, clipped the curb, and he gained some time, but he lifted off because he was going to run into the back of the Ferrari. This should be a very simple move for the Williams, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be. Here he goes with the DRS.
One of our many 95 cars coming to the inside. Got a lovely shot as he pulls in front of him, and now the Williams is in front. The third 95 car is now leading the race. P. Volters has got to get his act on if he wants to pass the Dutchman soon. Chingo, well, actually he's a pit lane, so that's completely mooted the point. I'll tell you who can still win this race though. Medium Pilot.
Yeah, for sure he can.
King David into really pit lane here. Once more.
Mike Bundy in the pits as well.
Could this be a Williams 1-2? If the Williams drivers work together to slow Walters down enough, this could really be a Williams 1-2.
Yeah, it definitely could.
And in league racing, you really don't normally get 1-2s, do you?
No, it's very rare, as Mike Bundy takes his 5-second penalty.
Ah, he's going to hate that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be really furious in the cockpit here.
But we know 5 seconds will be knocked off his time for the incident in pit lane. So his end race time, that 5 seconds will be removed, and he will be slipped into whatever place it is if his completed race distance and race time is then shorter than the car, or faster than the car. I know what it means. It makes sense.
We understand what you mean.
That's the worst bit. Somebody can understand it, but when they try to explain it, they have no idea what they're trying to say. But right now on traction, we do know what we're going to say, because now Williams versus McLaren, as I telegraphed it at the start of the race. Volters aggressively to the inside. Medium Pilot with DRS opening. Williams are going to try and make it a 1 and 2. Right now on the traction, it's looking fantastic. And P. Volters having to bail out of it. There's no way the 95 car can get past him. The McLaren has no pace on the hard tyres versus the Williams, who are now 1 and 2 in this race. And will Glock be ordered? Let's pilot through as James Baden finally gets past Nicomania, but it's not done yet. Nicomania with 13 up all tyres is struggling in the racing point. DRS open as he heads towards turn 1 to try and pass James Braden. James Braden is wide, but it's fine. He can't overtake this time.
I do wonder, though, if medium pilots, medium tyres is going to go off at the end of the race and the hard is going to be quicker again.
It's going to be
does
close.
He have that advantage from having 3-lap younger tyres?
I think he's got to, if he's going to do this, he's got to get ahead and he's got to disappear for a bit.
Yeah.
Then we might see him again at the end, and maybe he'll swap positions with Glock, handing Glock the win, but defending the 1 and 2.
I don't think he wants to do that. It doesn't look like it.
Nah, it really doesn't. He wants to get past the 98 car, trying to pass his teammate, the 95 car. He only had 90s there.
Yeah.
It's more fun when Red Bull had Max and Daniel, because they had 3 and 33. I said that to my dad, and he said, "Did they just run out of the other numbers or something?"
Yeah, one would think that, yeah.
A simple move here for the Williams as they do swap positions. Oh, for God's sake! But it's not going to be handed back that easily. The Williams do almost get close to touching, and Glock's thinking, right, I'm playing the team game now. I'm going to defend like hell and let Pilot disappear. Or is Pilot going to stay... I wonder if Pilot's going to stay close enough to keep... as Nick actually tries to battle again with... Oh, they go side by side. Nick has made the move stick on James Braden. James Braden is going to try and get up and underneath him. ZRS opens on the Haas. It has to get through. That's my 1 per week. And he does try and get through. There we go. So the man on the 8-lap worn tyres is ahead of the man with the 15-lap old worn tyres. And Nick looking faster than ever in that racing point.
Do you think Nick Mania has to pit again?
I think he will have to. But here's a further question. Again about the medium runners, as we see Lopez about to pass David. I wonder if medium pilot is going to try and keep Glock close enough that Glock will have DRS, so Glock won't be a threat from P. Walters.
Yeah, maybe you can pull him along here.
That would be great teamwork as we're looking at Lopez, who's darts to the outside again with an awful camera angle from the thong that he's on the Mercedes. There's contact between him and David David has to go back on the circuit. Lopez does let him back through. I don't know how aggressive that was because, again, we have the thong cam. The thong cam.
Thong cam was
It's horrible, it really is. You just got to get over it, though. That's where I like the IndyCar aero screen idea. It's got a thong and it's got covering. It's a thong with a skirt.
It's a sandal or something, I don't know.
Yeah, it is a sandal then, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be a flip-flop.
No, it wouldn't.
Walters is closing though. As I get more lols about the thong comment. But now, side by side is King David and again more thong cam. SFR Babe Station right here. There's contact though. David aggressively trying to battle with Lopez as I just make Fester cry with laughter in the background. It's the fact that I can just say it and then just go back to racing is even better.
That's perfect.
SFR Formula E brought to you by Babe Station. As Lopez tries to attack the other Alfa Romeo, but David's not looking happy that he's down here in P10. Maybe that mistake in qualifying by starting on the softer compound tyres is coming back to bite him in the neck. As Focci makes a few moves there, I don't know how many illegal, but Lopez now trying to go around the outside. He's crowded him wide there. He did crowd him wide, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Now the other Alfa Romeo.
I think he gives up the position.
Oh, I don't know how legally that was. That looked a bit like Hamilton. And it's contact.
So
David's
tight.
round.
Oh, down.
You don't normally see that again. More luck because of the fact no breaking wings. But you don't normally see the car that hooks the rain light being the one that spins.
No, not really. Oh, as we have some contact there between Lopez and Focho.
Lopez is doing his best impression of the guy that actually is of Jose Maria Lopez in Formula E, who's a little bit trashy.
As I've just been treated to the helicopter cam.
Oh, I don't get the helicopter cams anymore. They told me off. Lopez trying to defend from Fotio. Fotio's trying to pick a move. The number 9 Alfa Romeo has to give up the position though. Not many time penalties in this race, which is odd for China, because normally, and I saw this in all divisions, normally you see a lot more time penalties than you have been recently.
Yeah, I felt like it was quite difficult to get a warning. You had to cut the corner really badly.
I didn't even get one last night.
Yeah, and me either. When on Tuesday I didn't give a warning even.
It's odd. So on lap 22 out of 23 is Honey Badger pits. Is this his final time in pit lane? He has a big lockup as he enters the pits. Our leader is Medium Pilot in P1 ahead of his teammate in P2, Glock. P Volters in P3, only 1.2 seconds away from the leading Williamses. James Braden is in P4 and Nicomania is in P5, still holding on with those tyres that are going to start to look as bold as my granddad. Chain Game Wow is in P6 and Ali is in P7. Lopez is in P9 and Photo is in Lopez in P8 and Photo is in P9. David is in P10 outside of the points. Currently Mike Bundy in P11. Sem is in P12. Raikkonen is in P13 but he's hunting down Sem. Gasly is in P14. Honey Badger is in P15 and our one retirement is Tuzmus in the McLaren in P16.
I'll tell you what, King David didn't lose much time from that spin actually. He's only 1.8 seconds behind.
Lopez now looking to re-overtake Braden. I just want to have a look at what the fastest lap right now, because Nick Medium Pilot has currently got the fastest lap award. He will be awarded 1 extra point as Mickey Mania tries to go up and round the outside. But the Canada-owned team, but Silverstone operated team, is I will ask a question about that in a minute. Is still behind the American team as King David does receive a time penalty as we start talking about time penalties. So here's my question: if Nicky Mania cannot overtake here, he doesn't. Here's my question for you, Fotio. For a team that's owned by a Canadian person and managed out of a Canadian city, would you say that team is Canadian rather than British?
I think the same could be said for the Haas team, no? I think it's an American-owned team operated out of Britain.
I think I have many arguments about this, because Mercedes used to be Brawn. I went to the Mercedes factory, showing off again, and I had a chat with all of them. You don't see any Germans anywhere. Not whatsoever. All British people. All British, I'm not kidding.
Yeah, the only German is Dieter Secchi, and he's not there anymore. Now it's a Swede, so yeah, I know.
Hello, Paul. Just talking about Swedes.
There you go.
But yeah, I still think that they should be racing under a Canadian race license for... Whoa, as Nick almost plows into the Americans, the American-owned team, of James Braden, the British driver in the American-owned team. I still think they should have a Canadian flag on their race license as Nick has a big oversteer boat on the AstroTurf, almost pulling an Antonio Giovinazzi in Sauber 2017 there.
As we have a yellow flag.
Sector 2. People are still... Oh, it's a constant yellow. Who is it? I think it's Honey Badger. It is Honey Badger! He's overheated his soft tyres. He hasn't broken his wing, but Honey Badger has had an accident. The man in P15, and it goes... Yeah, he's had a problem with that car. It looks like
all over the place.
It looks like he's got a failure, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look, he's overheated his tyres. He's not happy. And he's round again.
Yeah, he's around again.
And the leaders are coming, and he's heading towards the wall, but he is okay. That's such a big runoff there. You don't normally see that in Formula 1, runoff.
I have crashed there several times out of that corner.
I've never crashed there, but you have seen the time penalty. Again, that's an unfair time penalty, really, because he didn't actually do anything. But he has been lapped, and look, he's not happy with the car, is he?
No, it doesn't seem like it. He didn't have a very good race.
No, I think he's just struggling with the adaptation to Renault. Obviously, moved from the GP2 Mercedes and heading to Renault. It does look like, I think you can't get these in online, but it does look like he had a proper failure on the rear end, doesn't it?
Yeah,
he's not had a puncture, is he? No, his tyres are fine. But it did look like he had a proper big suspension failure. He's had enough though. On 25 laps of racing, we have a second retirement, and now King David is going to try and overtake his teammate. No orders here from Fred Vasseur as they go and go. I went very French there. And he tries to overtake. Okay, now are they still Swedish or still Swiss? Sorry, or are they now Italian? I cannot work out anymore. I always say Swiss operated.
Yeah, it's definitely Swiss operated, but I'm not sure if Alfa Romeo has bought the whole team.
I don't think they have, because they have the Sauber Junior teams as well. Which actually incidentally brings up, that's Honey Bunch's ghost car coming through with the yellow flags. That's going to really screw over these guys who are trying to race. So David has to let his teammate back through. Mike Bundy's going to be thinking, great, my teammate who is retired is actually saved my race with these guys. So Mike Bundy still has a chance at points. Are they going to throw a late safety car here for that car that's pulling off? Lee, what button are you pressing? Rallycross, says James Hook. Yeah, it seemed a bit more like Rallycross. If you want to see Rallycross, I blamed Rallycross on Tuesday, I think. I said someone was driving like they were driving a Rallycross car. Mike Bundy to the inside of King David, and he does make the move. These two old racing buddies, and David has to take to the grass. Mike Bundy giving him as much room as possible. David Hayes now still ahead, just a bit, and Bundy to the inside. The 22 car battling against the Renault. These two great respect between one another, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great racing actually. P. Waters is now very close to Glock.
Yeah, I think Media Pilot might have heard me, and he is trying to help his teammate out as best as possible. But on the straights, Mike Bundy cannot get David due to the protection of the DRS of the second car in the Alfa Romeo team. But David's not bothered about Alfa Romeo. He wants to overtake.
Yeah, he wants to get the extra point.
Right now, Medium Pilot, who is actually broken away. So it seems like the McLaren and the Williams battle is about to resume. As now you see the Alfa Romeos going at one another. Oh, there's contact. There's more contact. Ooh. Can you hear the Sauber accountants just writing new front wing, new front wing, new front wing?
It's an expensive day for the Alfa Romeo team.
And it's funny because none of them are braking, that's the thing. Now to the outside is David, the two teammates, and he swoops around the outside, but he has been pushed wide. Might have been a desync there, but he's getting annoyed because Mike Bundy's right there. So any further move...
Mike Bundy says thank you.
At what point will David decide, I've got to stay behind him? Or will he just not care?
I think he wants to get past here.
I think Bundy wants to get past as well. After that 5-second penalty, he wants to finish ahead of Fotio. He has to finish ahead of Fotio's on 20-lap worn tyres.
I don't know how he's still going with those tyres, to be honest.
We are on the penultimate lap of the race, and the leaders are coming through, and it's still a Williams 1 and 2. Lopez is right on the back of Ollie. He cuts the corner.
King David around the outside in the hairpin of his teammate.
Oh, he's been forced wide. The thing is that David has a time penalty as well as Lopez, and Lopez bashing his way through on the Toro Rosso, demoted to P8.
Yeah, that was a bit bumper cars there.
Bit Formula E, I think that is. But look at that. Oh, there's contact. There's definite contact between the Alfa Romeos there. And at what point will they call that these guys have to swap positions, or will these guys try and stay fighting? Because Mike Bundy is right there. He's thinking one little slide and that's it.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I've just got a text from my mother. Do apologise for that. I would having to turn down my voice a little bit. But remember, King David has a time penalty. So right now, unless Fotio has one, he's finishing in P11.
Yeah, it's looking like it. I think Mike Bundy will get past here.
Mike Bundy has to get past because he wants to beat the guy that gave him a time penalty. Let's have a look back at the top battle,
I'm very sure that he does.
They have started the final lap, and right now there's only a few more places that the McLaren can overtake. But I think it's going to look like a Williams 1-2 this race. But you still can't call it because tyres can die in the last remaining seconds of the race.
I think as long as Glock keeps him within DRS of Medium Pilot, he's going to keep the P2 here.
DRS opening on Mike Bundy's car as he goes to the outside. Trying his hardest. He's getting screwed. He's getting touched a bit by the number 9. And the number 9 just has
trying to switch back.
He can't get up and under him. He couldn't get the power out. He just held him out that long. But the lead battle is coming down to the point that I think Medium Pilot's obviously safe unless they have a blowout. But I think the person that's most at risk of the blowout is currently Nicomania in P5. Medium Pilot has a time penalty.
Oh no!
My God, Photo, he's round. Contact with the wall as Photo reverses back on track, finding the reverse gear. Is there a puncture on the car? It doesn't look to be that, but the tyres are finally gone for the man who made contact with Mike Bundy in the pit lane.
I think Waters would do everything to get past Glock here to get the win.
Let's go on board, because this can. Who's going to win the race? Will it be Williams? Is this just spoiled Williams' day? I think it has.
I think it has, yes.
So on track, Medium Pilot is going to win this Grand Prix. Winning right, there's the checker flag. He does win the Grand Prix with the fastest lap, but Glock is going to win, and Medium Pilot demoted to 3rd. Glock is our winner tonight. Back on top.
Good race from them. Shame about the penalty for Medium Pilot there on the last lap.
James Braden is going to finish in 4th. And Nick is going to finish in 5th. A commendable drive for the man with 24-lap-old tyres. The race
that's really impressive.
Done. Actually, no. Nick will finish in 6th as Chain Gang Wow beats him out on penalties. And Lopez, with an unserved 5-second penalty, is going to finish in P8 in his first event. King David, though, has a 3-second time penalty, and I think it's going to translate into him finishing P11 because he's going to be P9, then P10, then P11. Raikkonen getting the final point tonight. But let's go on board with the winner. It's Glock. What a win for the 95 car. We got a radio message. Glock's very happy. What a race. What a race indeed. No better way I would have wanted to spend 45 minutes there. That was so fun.
Yeah, that was really good.
And you know what? We're not done because we get to have a chat with him as well.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
I'm sure Glock has a mic. Oh, I hope Glock's got a mic. Driver of the day. I have no idea who driver of the day would be. But there, Glock in P1 ahead of Walters in P2 and Medium Pilot P3. Remember though, Medium Pilot won the race on track. When was the last time we saw 2 Williams and a McLaren on the podium?
A long time ago.
I still love that Williams kit.
Yeah, it looks peng.
I love Williams. This is a great team.
Yeah, I hope they get their act together.
They're close, not far away. Not with George, at least. So the results, Barry, any Stewart's investigations. Glock wins the race in P1 ahead of Walters in P2. Medium Pilot is in P3. Off the podium, James Braden finishes P4, Chain Game Wow in P5, Nicomania in P6, and Ollie All finishing in P7. Lopez dropping down with a time penalty in P8. Mike Bundy resorting back up into the points after a difficult race in P9. Kimi finishes in P10 with a final point. King David resulting outside of the points with no points is in P11. Stem in P12, Photo in P13 after a disastrous race made worse by a spin at the end. Gasly in 14th. The final finisher. Drivers who did not finish this race. Tooze Moose and Honey Badger, the fastest lap going to Medium Pilot, so he will still get that extra point. But obviously, we
have a shout here in the comments from the guy who finished P5, Shane Game, that he was driver of the day.
We can't talk to Glock. He's not got a mic. That's such a shame.
That's too bad.
But what a win for Glock.
Yeah, it was a great race from him.
Let's get, who are we looking for? Medium Pilot in here. And let's get P. Walters in here, because I know both of these guys like to have a chat with me. I'm blue, dabba-dee, dabba-da, dabba-dee. I still can't sing. How many years have I done this and I still can't sing? Looking for P. Volters, who will have to invite via the chat. Do apologise again for us going blue. That's the wrong chat icon. No, stop. PlayStation, behave. I swear this thing's on its way out. Let's try and get him in here. As I apparently have an invite for tennis on my phone. No idea what that is. Oh! It's from Google telling me that Roger Federer was there. But that's not interesting. I'm not interested in that.
I was about to say.
We will get the Williams car up on screen, as I always have done when I commentate the races. I now get the cars up on screen of who wins the race, because I quite like that. I quite like the aspect to show who won the race. So Williams are our winner. We'll see who will join us in the chat. So I'll try and get a nice angle on the Williams. We can see all of it in its glory. Its toothpaste-ridden glory. I love this car. It's awful. It's terrible. It's slow as hell, but it's still really pretty.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll try and get it where I can get the screen in as well. That will do there, I think. That's nice.
I'm just waiting for one of the real-life drivers to choose number 69.
They'll come for an American, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Santino Ferrucci, maybe.
Oh, Ferrucci's never going to get an F1. Apparently, the gameplay is not able to stream, but it is still streaming, so that's the only thing I'm interested in. Doesn't look like we've got any drivers in here with us. Do excuse me as the screen goes blue once more. We have invited Medium Pilot and we have invited P. Volters, but they may not want to talk tonight. If they're not in the next 2 minutes, excuse me, if they're not in the next 2 minutes, we can have, excuse me again, do apologise, we can have a nice little conversation between us.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, Juan Manuel Correa, I think his name is, he's a Formula 2 driver under the Sauber program. Yeah. He's getting an F1 test, or he's getting an outing in the Alfa Romeo sometime this season. I don't know when. Might be. But he's not bad. He's not a bad driver. He races under an American license. I think he's American Colombian.
Yeah, he's done pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Callum Ilott is getting a test as well. Or did he already test?
Callum's already done one, but he's not doing fantastic this season in Formula 2. So I think he's going to do it again. I think he'll have another season in Formula 2. I don't think Correa will get in. I don't even think, what's his name, De Vries will get into Formula 1. I think that he'll go off to Formula E with Mercedes. Yeah,
he had a test with them now this week, I think.
I don't like De Vries. I'm sorry, I just don't.
No.
He's egotistical. He's good,
Do you think Van Dorn will get to drive for Mercedes in Formula E?
I think it would make sense, wouldn't it? He's very good. And he's a Mercedes simulator driver. I just feel bad for Gary Paffett, because I quite like Gary Paffett. Maybe because he's British.
Yeah, but he's old.
He's not old. He's not old. He's old, and so's Lee. It doesn't look like we have the drivers joining us, though, tonight. Let me just have a look to see if I got anything, because my phone sort of exploded. But nonetheless, let's have a chat, shall we? How was that race for you, Fefster, commentating for the first time with me?
Yeah, that was really enjoyable. I think all the races this week have been pretty great.
Yeah, this week's been really good.
Somehow always provide great racing.
Yeah, it gave me points, so I'm okay with it right now. But we're not done on the videos from China. Hopefully we will have the review series from Alex on Friday and on Saturday and Sunday. We'll be seeing a video come up on the YouTube channel from Alex talking about what happened this week. If you missed it, it will be really entertaining. I'm actually going to watch that. Are you going to watch it, Fester?
I will definitely do that.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see what Alex does, what Alex picks up on, and how much Alex doesn't like the fact that I talk about helmets as much during the thing. I think he's probably going to have a helmet count talk all the way through the season. If I reach about 1,000, I'll probably have to pay money to a charity now, in my luck.
Maybe we can do a drinking game of it.
Drink at your own risk.
yeah, definitely.
Really do, because I could talk about helmets for hours. But yeah, we're not done with that. But the next live stream will be on Monday, and that will be headed by James Cadwell 5 as always, and that will be for GP4. If you're interested in that, have a check. That'll be at 7:25, and that will be our start at Baku next week. Are you excited for next week's racing?
Baku is always carnage, isn't it?
It's either 2016, boring as hell, or 2018, absolutely mental.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty good track for me, personally, so I'm hoping for a good result.
Well, this will be entertaining. If you want to catch up on what's happening in SFR, make sure you follow the Twitter at SFRPS4 and have a look at our Facebook page, where all the results will be posted on that page. Well, nonetheless, we can just end the stream now, since no one wants to come and talk to us. Fefster, thank you as always for calling us on commentary. I know you've done it multiple times this week, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, thank you for having me. It was great fun.
Always a pleasure to have new commentators here in SFR. Well, make sure you join us next week for Baku, because drama will only ensue. We're only 4 rounds into the 21 race season that is SFR Season 5. My name is JB. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week for Baku on Monday. Have a very good night. I will see you next time. Ta-ra, guys.
Bye-bye.